What's up? What's up? What's up, world? How y'all doing? I can't hear myself in the mic, but I hope y'all can hear me. This your boy Shelvin.
It's your boy True 102.
Lady K.
Lady Prezi.
And this is Cornella.
Look, we on here, man. Look, we go talk about it. We up here on the chatterbox, man. Look, we tell y'all every time we get on here, our intention is to be a positive platform, to give a voice to the voiceless, and we do that every Monday. While he working on my headphones, I just want to let y'all know we in here, and there you go. User error. Yeah, we gonna have a whole bunch of those tonight, man. Y'all should see. Y'all gonna see this topic we gonna talk about. I'm pretty sure everybody has some user errors in those situations, man. But listen, just a couple of things real quick. I hope y'all being safe out there with this pandemic getting worse and worse every day. We go continue to pray for Louisiana, man, as they go through that Storm Ida, Hurricane Ida, man. If you have any family members down there, man, hope you're checking on them. Hope you're making sure they're all right, man. The storm was really bad, man. So, yeah, just please keep them in prayer, man. Definitely do that. Listen, I want y'all to tune in on Wednesdays, man, to the Hot Podcast, man. It's on, man, live, man. It's 6 o'clock, man. 6 o'clock, man. It's time for Street to Rock, man, with my pastor, Alton Dixon, man. He really be going in, man. And y'all gonna really love this segment on Wednesday, man. Y'all tune in to the Hot Podcast. And also, man, look, if you want to do a podcast, if you got it in your heart, you don't know where to go, man, this is the place for you, man. Here at Hearing Eyes Studio, man, where your boy Calvin Hill be on that mug like 1 meal, man. I'm telling you, he has the tools you can use. I promise you, if you come up here to the Hot Podcast, he'll be able to get your word out there, man. We definitely want to promote him, man. He's a good dude, man. He knows what he's doing, man. So if you have it in your mind, I don't know what the podcast gonna be named or whatever, but whatever you want to do, your boy Calvin, he will do it for you, man. So please, if you his information was on the screen a while ago, man. Put it up one more time, Calvin, so they can see it one more time. There it is right there, man. Look, get in contact with him at Hearing Eyes DFW, man. He will definitely be the guy for you, man, for your podcast. We talked about a good topic last week, man. Y'all remember the topic last week?
No.
Oh my God. Never mind. We talked about last week, man. What did we talk about last week?
Well, you can't remember.
I can't even remember. It slipped my mind. We talk about so much stuff on here, man. But listen, whatever we talk about, I guarantee you're gonna get something from it, man. We didn't have Miss Rise or Cornella with us last week. It was me, Lady K, man, and True 102. But we talked about it, man. It was a good conversation. Growth and evolving. Self exploration, self-discovery, evolution and growth. Yeah. That's what it was. We just grew right there. We gotta do better. Look, we human. Look, we do this stuff every Monday, man. Yeah. This is straight from the raw, uncut. We don't do no script. This is not scripted. We straight from the heart with it, man, and hope y'all get it. But yeah, man, look, we go talk about something on tonight, man, that I'm really not too familiar with. I'm going to be honest with you. I probably have done it. I don't even know if I've done it. But it's a topic. I'm going to let Lady Kyra, man, introduce the topic on tonight, because I believe that Lady Kyra and Brother True 102 going to be doing a lot of the talking, man, and our sister Cornella and definitely Miss Rise, they going to be tuned in, tap in, man. If you got any comments, please put them in the comment section. Yes. We want to make sure you're a part of our conversation. Ain't that right, man?
Right.
Yeah, man. Look, everybody has an opinion, and some people even have references. I mean, a lot of people do their homework. I'm not the one that say that I'm always right, even though I am. Nah, I'm just no, I'm not. I'm not playing. But everybody feel like everybody.
Entitled.
Yeah, I sound like Father D, huh? I got his DNA. I got his DNA. That's my dude. That's my dude, man. I got his DNA. Love him to death too, man. Excuse me, man. Y'all excuse me. We getting set up, man. Look, we had to jump in here. Y'all don't know what we had to do before we got on here, but we are on here. Amen.
Right.
Amen. So, look, tonight we're gonna be talking about what, Lady K?
How to date, and is marriage worth it? So we're gonna
Ooh, say that one more time.
how to date, and is marriage worth it?
How
Is it
to
worth
date?
it? So your do's and your don'ts, things that you've done, your experiences, what works for you. Everything don't work for everybody, but what has always worked for me, like and share.
Like
Yeah.
and
Like
share.
and share.
Please like and share. Just hit that button. Share it, please, man. We definitely want to let somebody get to, even if they get it later in the week, we definitely want somebody to have a part in this conversation. Say True 102, man. What we gonna be talking about one more time, man?
Talking about how do we date and is marriage worth it?
Is marriage worth it? So we got 3 people up here that's married and 2 people that's single.
Yeah.
So we go definitely have perspectives from we ain't always been married. We've been single before. So we go have perspective on both. You've been married.
Yes, I'm a divorcee, proud divorcee.
So we got so many perspectives up here. Hey, look, we keep it real. We keep it real at the chatterbox. We don't hold no punch. We keep it real up here, man. If y'all don't want to keep it real, then tap out. You don't have to tap in. We keep it real at the chatterbox. Hey, you ever been married, man?
But I aspire to be married.
So we got every perspective up here. There's no perspective that's not met. Look, if you've been married on the chat, man, put it in the comments, man. I've been married. If you're divorced, whatever we go talk about it tonight. How to date. Y'all go blow my mind.
She's not married either. So
I thought you were married.
I thought you was married, boo.
Married.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that title on you like that. You had to look like that.
That's okay.
Spoke it on you.
That's okay. It's okay. It's coming.
She was looking like, nah, that ain't it right there. That ain't, not right there. Hold your horses.
No, it's coming.
You gotta claim it.
Amen. And hey, you receive it. That's what's up. So how to date?
Okay, so one of the things that we started off talking about, I remember now, towards the end of the last segment was the start of dating, like how do you date? And I mentioned that I feel like when I first started dating, like there's never just one person, because I consider it shopping, like an interview process. It's some people that need to come on through this line. I might mark you down and be like, okay, this seems like a match, but next, I feel like you should shop in that way. You should date. And that's how you pick your candidate. Like, who do I feel like is best? You go on a date with somebody, you think the vibe is nice, then when they start talking and it just, everything changes. Like they mouth, or they talk to you on the phone, or they text you. Like certain things, what are your turn off? Certain things turn me off. Like, if you text me, I speak pretty good English. So I don't like certain words to be misspelled, like on purpose. For example, last weekend, I was moving something into my apartment, and this guy asked my number, and I thought he was a nice guy, so I was like, sure. But I already knew that I wasn't gonna like him, so that's a don't. I already knew I'm not gonna like you, but we gonna see. And as soon as he texted, it was like, I forgot what he said, but he mentioned. I told him how old I was, and he was like, oh, you don't have kids? And I was like, no, I don't have kids. He was like, well, I don't know how to say this, but nobody has knocked you up yet, and you're 31. And I was like, I don't aspire to be a baby mama. I don't want that. That's not what I want. Conversation ended. No offense to anybody who has kids in that way. I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I'm just saying that I don't want that.
Not for you.
Not for you.
I just don't want it. And if I'm 31, if it happened, it happened. If it don't, it don't. It's not a big deal for me. But certain those type of things. So when you're dating multiple different people, and it's not a relationship, i.e., this is not my girlfriend, this is not my boyfriend, I'm not married. Like, you should be single if you're dating, to me. But when you go on these dates, whether it be going out to a restaurant or movies or some type of thrill, Like, that's your interview time. That's for you to be talking to this person, feel out their conversation, feel out, do you like their sense of humor? You might not like the way they joke about certain things. You're also going to get to see the things, your boundary lines. You get to see what things are boundaries. Okay, I'm not okay with that. And you also get to highlight with yourself as far as, okay, this is not something that I can deal with. I think that we convince ourselves a lot to, I feel like we convince ourselves a lot to date certain people. Like, you convince yourself, oh, this person is interested in me. Then you start convincing yourself, well, I like this person. And it's not automatically, I just did it. There, just because of contact, you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to talk to you. And then you quickly decide that's an interview process. It also keeps you from going too fast with the relationship. Give yourself like time to feel out. Maybe you think you're ready to date and you really not. And by the third date or the first date, you're like, okay, I'm not ready for this. You should measure yourself in that way. It don't have to be but dating 2021. You have to really define what you think dating is. Because dating in 2021 is, okay, we go out to eat, you want to come back to my place. Right. And I'm just like, no, first of all, it's too many diseases.
That part.
It's too many, but that is dating in 2021. It's like, okay, you got my number, I got your number. I don't know how to really talk to you. You don't really communicate. Hey, you want to go someplace? Hey, you want to go back to my place? No. But that's dating in 2021. But if you're trying to date to find somebody that you want to be with, like, long term, I definitely think if you have never done it, to just try the shopping or interviewing process where you're not allowing yourself to be too connected to a person too quickly, and you get to kind of like have fun with it, enjoy it.
Right. But what happened to? Well, I guess since I'm a little older, I'm probably the oldest one here. But anyway, back growing up or in my earlier years or 20s. So from then to now, the difference would be maturity. So you learn to set expectations in knowing exactly what you're looking for, what it is that you want when you're dating in a person. So if I wasn't already in a relationship and I was, let's say, for instance, if I was to be dating. So for me, first of all, I need to know things about you. I need to know your past. I need to know, do you have good credit?
That part.
I mean, what am I dealing with? Because so often we think that those things don't matter, but they do. Because if you have bad credit, why do you have bad credit? Because that speaks of your character. That speaks of how you've handled things in your life. Of course, everything, there's no perfect world. There's no perfect life. Somebody could have lost their job, so they had to file bankruptcy. So when you filed bankruptcy, why didn't you start over properly? Why didn't you rebuild your credit? What did you do? What happened in your life? These are things that at my age that I've, learned, okay, so credit is important. Your relationship with God, what do you have children? And if you have children, do you have a relationship with your children? Because if you don't, that also speaks of your character.
It does.
Because if you are you're an older gentleman and you have children and you don't have a relationship with them, I mean, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong, there's always various sides to a story. Yeah. But for the most part, if you have children, then why wouldn't you have a relationship with them? What happened along the way? You know what I'm saying? Was it something within your character that you don't have a relationship with the children? All those things matter. But like I said, that comes from maturity. I mean, back when I was 20 years old, okay, you don't think about those things. Right. But as you become, older and mature in life, you learn, at least you should learn that, okay, these are my expectations. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for in a relationship. So if this is somebody that I'm thinking about, okay, because I'm, as they say, if I'm dating with a purpose, so to speak, then those were things that I would be if that was the case. I mean, but I'm already in a relationship, so those are things I already know.
Have assessed for yourself.
Those are things that I've already assessed. But if I was just out there, dating, these were things that I would be looking for, because, okay.
Now, did you look for those things when you first started?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because what we playing for?
You was already in there. She wasn't playing no games.
I mean, why we going
Go pull a criminal background check and everything, baby.
Because why are you going to not be able to be honest and upfront? So we're not supposed to be code switching. Who are you?
Let me ask you this though. Let's talk about this when you said be honest and be upfront. Now, for me, I agree with being honest and being upfront, but there are certain things you're just not going to get out of me in the beginning because, again, we're in a stage of dating. Mm-hmm. You're not going to have a privilege of knowing so much in my depth in my life, and I don't, not for sure what you're telling me is true because a pair of lips will tell you anything and a tongue don't care who tell it.
All right.
So, for me, it's stages of what you can get out of me about my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's also stages of where, like, for me, I've been a mother since I was 15. So for me, when it comes with dating, I don't think it's really, cool that, they need to know that you have children because they need to know that in the beginning, now you're not going to keep me after 3 o'clock in the morning and things of that nature. So it's necessary that they know those type of things before as meeting them, knowing where I stay, and knowing my routine. You won't get that part of me because I don't know who you are. I don't know your background other than what you're telling me, but I don't know that's true. I don't know what you connected to. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's certain things that when you dated, that you know what I'm saying, you don't do. And then just like you say, you kind of like an interview process. It is like that. But for me, you also have to learn how to sort.
Yes.
Yeah. Sort the guys that you're dating at the same time and adhere to, just that.
And girls.
Most anybody, men and women, you just know how to sort them according to how, your dating process.
So, let me say this. Okay.
You got a mic.
Oh, push my microphone. Shoot! I'm trying to make sure she got everything. Well, look, we in the learning process. Y'all got a reason with us. But say, I want to look at these comments real quick, man. Real quick. Miss Pat say she married. She say we convince ourselves to settle a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
Yes. Agreed.
I believe that because we set those expectations of, again, what you feel like that you can and cannot attract. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you are in your life, you might feel like that you want this, but it's been 6 or 7 years, you ain't got it, so let me just settle for this.
Right.
So sometimes we do, and sometimes we feel like, you know what? You got to take the good with the bad. Everything ain't going to be good.
So
hold on.
So can we say that how we date determines how a person heals?
I think I would probably say that how we date is determined on your personal healing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. How a person.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would definitely agree.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think people give themselves time to
because they're always competing.
Because sometimes you're running from something, and there's a lot of people these days that just don't know how to be by themselves.
Exactly.
They're scared to be by themselves. They don't choose to be by themselves. They feel like they're nothing if they're not by themselves.
But that's a deeper issue. That's a deeper issue because that's something that's within them in regards to, versus their self-esteem, some things that have happened in their childhood, some type of trauma,
right?
For somebody's dealing with in order to say, well, okay, I can't be by myself. Okay, I'm out of this relationship, so let me just go back into another relationship when they don't understand how important it is to actually learn you and learn who you are as a person and enjoy yourself. There was a time in my life where I used to, let's say for instance you go out to eat by yourself. Or I would see people out to eat by themselves and be like, oh my God, they be out to be so lonely. Why would they be out to eat by themselves? And look at here. And then after I became somebody different in learning myself and healing in some areas in my life, look, that's the best thing ever in the world.
Well, do you think that comes from people not being able to deal with what they were going through because they don't have the good circle of influence for somebody to kind of like recognize it? Because sometimes when you in it, you don't see it.
Exactly.
Well,
when you step outside of it, then you kind of like see all your flaws, like in all the flags, you know what I'm saying? But when you have a good circle of influence, there should be somebody to say, hey, that's in your ear telling you all along, whether you heard it or not at that moment, there should be somebody in your ear that is a family member or a good friend that's, you know, saying, hey.
Accountability partner.
Yeah, accountability partner. We don't have those. We don't choose them well.
Right.
So
I do.
stay
I got
stuff
accountability
long
partner.
enough.
Well, you know what? There's always one person in your ear.
Yeah, we even listen to him this time.
But I'm saying, but that's gonna be the best person in your ear that we have to learn to listen to.
Absolutely, that's through the
Because-
learning process. But being realistic on the surface, we all
Right.
know that.
Yeah.
But you just don't do that. Just like we don't listen to God, we don't listen to our homegirl that's really genuine, our homegirl, our parents. You know, 9 times out of 10, your parents is telling you because they done been through it. You have an aunt or somebody that's older than been through it. You're not even listening to them, let alone God.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes
but
you gotta go through it on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes those people will tell you certain things, but they might not tell you to seek the help you need to get there. Because for the most part, when you go thinking about the older generation, you know, that's my aunts and my moms them age, they don't believe you go sit on the couch and talk to nobody about this stuff. They don't believe in counseling and stuff like that. If you have a conversation with the majority of the people, the statistics in that age group, they're not going to, like, for instance, like for me, like my aunt, my mom, them, they wouldn't discourage it, but it's not something that they totally believe in, so to speak.
Right.
So when you have that, so then how are they going to tell you to go get help?
Well, I'm not saying so much them telling you to go get help. I'm just saying, just in the form of them speaking and conversating with you based on their experience or what they see on the outside looking in, trying to give you some type of knowledge or some type of, educate you on the area of what's going on here. Like, we don't listen to it.
Like
But
you're
even
saying,
we
for
listen
instance-
to it,
Hold
but
on,
that's not
hold
going
on.
to heal us.
Look, I want to get through these comments because I want them to be a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel excluded. Because they got some good stuff going on in the chat,
gonna
man.
read some of them.
Yeah.
I was waiting
DeAndre
for
is the next one.
Yes. Let's see.
He says,
Why does dating feel like a merry-go-round? To me, it just looked like a free meal, and
they just looking for a free meal.
that's what that is a problem that you run into. And I feel like
Well, that's because that's the first thing they want to do is feed you. Like,
it's
you want to eat.
exactly because
Tell me to do
they're not
something
creative enough.
They're not creative.
So
Men are not
like,
creative.
let me give some
Hold on.
date.
My date was creative.
Your date was created, but
It was, but who initiated though? It didn't come from you though, did it?
Well, it kind of did.
Oh, okay.
but that's because that's what
she
women
said.
accept as well.
Well, it was on.
True. So
All right, let me tell y'all what happened.
what happened?
So I was about to head. So I had been going to Bible study, right? And me and my wife, we had been talking. But I guess she was excited or curious about where I was going and why I was so excited about Bible study. Because when I leave Bible study, I would talk to her about what we were talking about at Bible study. And so one night, I was getting ready to go to Bible study, and she said, shoot, I'll go with you. And I was like, what? This is going to be the first place we go together? It's Bible study? I was with it. I was with it, with the path that I was going. It was kind of interesting, honestly. I was like, man, this is interesting. No woman had ever asked me to go to church, let alone Bible study. And so for us to go to Bible study together, it blew my mind. And, I mean, look, here we are 6 years later.
But again, she initiated it.
Well, yeah, she did. But the initiation came from the curiosity.
Okay. I take
Here's
that.
Don Shell said, get more creative. A simple cup of coffee makes room for conversation. That's true.
That is true.
Like, don't go to places like the movies on the first day. It's dark. You can't talk. You're watching a movie. Try, like, wine tours. You can go on a wine tour. You can go downtown and do that little walk thing and get on those little things that look like little RoboCops. I like stuff like that. You can go ride bikes together. It's,
What about whatever happens to like a walk in the park?
yeah, walk in the park, a little picnic. It's so many things.
People start getting robbed and stuff.
Oh, my God.
Dangerous. I don't know about that. We might have to fight. These boys over here set tripping and stuff.
Now, I'm gonna need you to go to a different park.
Shoot, ain't
Don't
too
go
many
to
parks where I'm
Glendale.
from.
Don't go to,
Well, I mean, the parks really just start up and coming again. It was all the parks was really bad for a minute.
What do you say? I'm just saying, basically, that's all men do. let's go out to eat.
Yeah.
But
then, this is another problem I got. Y'all always want to go out to eat, but then y'all looking at the women that got their body fixed. But y'all sitting over here always feeding this one.
well, look, they don't ever say no. They don't want to go eat though. Like, I mean, a good plate. That's a good means for conversation too. Just like coffee. And I'm not one to just say I always go out to eat. Matter of fact, I'm scared of people that just want to go to the movies. Because 9 times out of 10, it's dark in there. You ain't got to talk. So what you hide? You know what I'm saying? Movies.
I'm not a movie person. I'm gonna fall asleep.
A lot of times movies is I don't have to expose a lot. You know what I mean? And so the movies is really a scapegoat to a lot of men. You know, we don't have to talk too much. It's dark. We ain't got to look at each other too long. You know, and after the movie.
So can I pause you? That means you don't know how to carry a conversation.
Well, I mean,
or you don't want to have a conversation, or you just trying to get to the other spot.
Right. Either way,
right
to the house.
Accommodation.
Either way,
that's how it's read.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about you married.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. In general,
that's what that means.
Yeah, but if somebody's trying to date you, how often? Let's say, for instance, a guy calls and says, "Okay, well, hey, let's meet up," and he says, "Well, let's meet up."
In 2021.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I'm trying to ask you.
So, what I'm saying,
right.
But if he says if he tells you to meet him at a restaurant, and it's somebody you think that you could have the potential of liking or whatever, are you going to be willing to say, well, hey, let's go to the lake instead?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm always the one that's throwing out ideas because I don't like to do the same thing over and over again. Like, I like adventure, so let's go do something. I like playful things because I feel like that's going to allow me to see different parts of your personality. A lot of people, as far as when they approach me and it's very, very serious. I'm not a very serious person. I have serious moments, and I'm going to laugh. I'm going to be goofy. You could be mad, screaming at me, and I'm going to start laughing. I'm very goofy. And I'm playful. I need to be, in an active environment. If you start talking to me constantly, like, you're going to know that I'm going to start looking around. My thoughts start going all crazy. No.
And
we need to do something
different.
that's engaging.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
right. Catch your attention.
So would you consider that dating, what do you think the difference between dating and courting?
Okay. Now, courting, I feel like that's the next, to me, it's the next stage.
What is that?
When you, courting
He say, what is that? I'm right there with you, bro. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Courting is when you have gone through that interview process and you feel like this is the person that you want to proceed with on a serious note. Courting is when it leads to marriage. You're courting this person now, so you're now taking on certain. You're gonna do a little more certain responsibilities. No,
Well, me too.
you're gonna do certain things. You're now reading the ingredients on the label that you picked up,
Right.
and you're trying to put something together.
I'm from Highland Hills. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Where I come from, look, we ain't really finna do no dating like that. Like, we go hit the club. If it's right at that time, say we go spend that night together, and in the morning, hey, it's back to the original program. That's just where I come from. That we didn't date really. Like, we just had a lot of one night stands or just surprise little situations. That wasn't on our mind, on our forefront. So this whole conversation is kind of, I mean, it's blown. I can't really participate in it in that sense. Like I tell you, the first place that I intentionally went with a woman was to Bible study. And that's where I'm at with it. Like, I come from the hood. From my demographic, dating, it wasn't even a thing really. Not from my demographic. Not from where I come. My experience of it. Mm-hmm. Now I understand y'all experience is a little different. I get it.
So do you think the difference is it depends upon, it varies because of our upbringing, so to speak, because
Definitely.
some people grew up in the house, like for girls, like, I know what I'm supposed to, or what a real man, what a husband's supposed to look like, because my dad was forever present. Mm-hmm. So if I made a bad choice, it wasn't because I didn't have the best example. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean I didn't make some bad choices along the way. But I know for some people, if they didn't have, not having that example, not knowing, okay, what does a marriage look like, because you get married and then you don't know what to do, so to speak. Right. I know for me, like, I got married. I've been married before, So I married my high school sweetheart. I knew what it was like, back then to date, because, you had to come and ask, hey, can one.
Now, do school count? Do school count if you ask somebody to the dance?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You were still dating.
Man, we went to the school to fight. We went to the dances to fight. I'm telling y'all the truth.
We went to the dance to fight.
What? We was thugging it out. I know it. I know it's crazy. I'm sorry.
I think what you said is very true because, like, for me, with marriage, all that I heard was, you don't need to be shacking. Y'all got kids. You need to get married.
Oh, my.
I didn't have a father in the household. My father was a street man.
Right.
The streets in and out of jail.
Hey.
I didn't have that. My mom was a single mom raising 3 girls. So when it came to marriage, I didn't see that exemplified in front of me. I saw a single mother trying to do the best she can with raising her daughters.
Right.
So when I started having children, my husband, the first thing in the family, like, well, y'all don't need to be shacking, especially older. You need to marry. So I did what they said do. You don't need to be shacking. You need to marry. Not knowing, nobody said, well, won't y'all go to counseling first?
Yeah.
Y'all been dating since middle school, through seasons, the love is going to change. You're getting older because y'all young, so you need to make sure you're going to be able to be with him. Because you've been with him since 15.
Yeah.
Just, when he turns 23, 25, the love gonna look different. You can't have no puppy love no more, no high school love. Nobody ever talks no more.
Nah, that's real.
Because when them bills get to hitting and carrying on, it's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, y'all don't look the same no more.
So, I'm married based off people.
Yeah, we was at Dunshell. Right. So Dunshell Black, I believe that's one of your friends, right?
That's my best friend.
She says expectations lead to disappointment.
They do. They do.
So why you say
much
that?
Out of a person that you ain't even,
So do expectations come from your own personal, characteristics of yourself?
I think sometimes we have to know that we can't put our expectations on the other person because it sets us up for failure, and then it doesn't allow the relationship or friendship or
to grow.
To grow, because in our head we're expecting you to be X, Y, Z, but we never even gave you time
to be you and show
be
what you
Like expecting that good credit score, expecting that good credit score.
It's not expecting it. It's just asking what. It's just asking what it is.
I'm just jiving. I promise.
Right now, credit should matter.
Well, being our age. But we also want to talk
The
about
younger generation, you're not thinking about credit. You're not
But
thinking about credit at all.
But see, I think that's part of the issue because at Twan's age, why not? Why wouldn't you be thinking about it? Because at that age is really when you should be able to get started so that you can.
So what about in your 20s?
So
it's not talked about in the homes enough. Nobody's talking about them. So that's why it should. But
so when you get my age,
right. But that's a problem. A bigger problem I think that we have in our community is that as parents and aunts and uncles or whoever, we're not teaching our children about finances and their credit.
And for us, just to say, for me, I didn't have it in my household when I was growing up. So when I had children early, that wasn't a thing that I thought about. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes all the time you're a product of your environment.
Right.
And you choose whatever your environment and what you want to change when you get older.
Right.
You don't change because it's just a part of your DNA. But then some things you kind of like, I don't want to do that because I know how that feels and it feels good to me. I'm not going to continue that through when I have children or whatnot. But if it's not talked about in your home, that's not the first thing you're going to talk about when you have your kids. Unless you have been through something hard enough, then you're going to be like, I need to make sure they know X, Y, Z because this don't feel good.
Right.
So even for me, the only reason why I set my kids down and went over checkbooks and showed them like, look, Mama working 2 jobs. These are all the bills, and look, this is how much money Mama got in the account. Now, after I pay all this, we still ain't got groceries. You still need this X, Y, Z.
Right. And that's good.
I set that down for them out of pain because I didn't want them to. I was in a place I didn't want to continue to go through that, but I definitely didn't want them to think that I was just money was going on trees.
Right.
Because all they know we at that age they just ask for stuff.
And a lot of parents don't do that. A lot of parents do not do that. They're not transparent with their bank account.
So when you get tired of asking and you get tired of not being, when you want to do it so much,
right?
You want to do
I know.
There come a point in time like, let me make them understand. I'm not saying no because I'm trying to be mean. I need you to understand that no is not forever. but right now I can't get it to you. But let me make you see why. So maybe it'll kind of calm you down on can I?
See, in my time, my mama would already make that disclaimer before we walked in the store.
Don't you ask for nothing?
Don't y'all ask for a thing, and y'all ain't getting nothing. Don't touch nothing. You hear me? And of course that wouldn't work out, but you know the whooping will remind you. Yeah, I ain't got it.
Pop that pinch.
Yeah, you know, but that was that was when they didn't disclose the information that you disclosed. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would have helped me more in being responsible than just you can't have. Well, why? Can you explain? And that's what we have. These kids these days, they don't ask for Snickers and stuff no more.
Oh no, they don't. But that's what. But back then it was considered grown folks' business.
Yeah.
You know, so to speak. You know, whereas now the generation, some of the parents have different relationships with their kids, so it didn't have to be
I think we're forced
a bad thing, so to speak, but we can at least be able to be.
We're forced to have those conversations.
Yeah, to have those conversations.
You have a lot of problems in your household.
Right.
But you should also discuss. Teach your kid how to date. My daddy took us on dates.
Absolutely.
My daddy
took
us on dates to tell us how we should and should not be treated.
Right.
My dad will open car doors for us. My dad, when we go to the restaurant, he pulled out the seat. My dad did those things. He made a point to always do certain things for us. Even sometimes not necessarily going out to a restaurant, but set up the kitchen like a restaurant, and we would do that. My mama would do the same for my brother. So you got to teach, kind of tell them, show people the good things that you can expect, a standard. Like, even if it's just a goal that you wanted to reach, if you have a goal to be a millionaire, what does that look like? Go drive in a neighborhood with millionaires. Go to Flower Mound. Go drive around those houses. Go to Lake Highlands. Drive and look at those houses. Give yourself something to look at to motivate you. Right. It's the same thing when it comes to dating. You need a certain level of standard. If you've never seen it, you really just it's trial and error. Yeah. You're still going to learn trial and error because you're not going to take in everything. And when you grow up, sometimes you're just not receptive to certain things. Like, I was always open my own door. I'm very no, I can do it. I can do it. It wasn't until I got older until I appreciated it. Because I was a tomboy.
Right.
So I had to get older to appreciate that. As I got older, I was like, oh, you're supposed to open this door. So I'm standing on the other side of this door till you open it.
So Pastor Dixon says texting shouldn't be a gauge for dating.
No, absolutely not.
Please use text language.
Yeah.
He says texting shouldn't be a gauge for dating. Text language is improper language.
It is.
And it wears down the conversation. The communication is completely worn.
I think texting is a form of
it's supposed to be short and quick. It ain't supposed to be
Yeah, it's supposed to be short and quick, but I just think sometimes people text for avoidance.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
You ain't gonna pick up the phone and call me. My daughter would say all the time, it's like he gonna talk. I guess she was talking to someone, and one of the things that he said to her that she kind of developed her the wrong way is that he said he's just not no talker on the phone.
Well, then talk to me in person.
So what you avoiding? Who you around? Who in your face? You can't pick up the phone. You
play too much.
Conversation phone. So she felt some type of way, and I would tell her, I was like, well, it's something that he's avoiding.
Oh, it's like the movies.
Yeah, it may be somebody around. He may be messing with somebody else because if he truly wants to, date you or intentional about dating you, he want to pick up the phone. Back in the day, you couldn't get me in off the phone. I'm telling you, my husband used to be asleep on the phone.
Yes.
Wake up the next morning. I'd be like,
what was that thing that we used to, the chat line?
Yeah.
Y'all remember the chat line? I'm talking
line.
Y'all the party line.
Yeah.
That was before my time, the party line.
Sleep.
When you had to have the operator interrupt the call.
But they don't do that nowadays. When you really
that used to be crunk. It used to enter a room.
Now I'm be honest. Like, you can't talk to me for an hour on the phone. I don't want to talk that long. Talk to me in person. Remember, I said I cannot pay attention like that, like this, the whole time. But I say that. I be like, hey, we should just see each other in person. You want to talk? This is when I'm available. When are you available? But I always say that up front because you're not going to text me all day, and don't think that I'm going to be on the phone like this all day. Sometimes I have something to say, and I can really go. But sometimes I
But I
don't.
also think sometimes texting can bring out the wrong message.
I'm reading
too.
these messages. I'm reading
It
these
can bring out the
comments.
wrong message
It
too
can.
because
You can read it in a totally different
because
tone.
I'd be like, "Is you yelling?"
Yeah.
And then you might not even be there. And I'd be like,
You
"Oh,
just
so
trying to
be
emphasize
funny?"
it.
So,
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
so your feelings get involved with that.
Yes.
And it don't even be there where you all mad on this end.
Yeah, that's why you're like,
And
oh.
then when they call you on the phone, your boy's like, what's up?
Yeah.
And you like, what's wrong? You know, he's like,
why you not-
but
yeah.
I feel it's because of how he texts back.
Yes.
Right.
So
So
you don't even understand where the anger coming from.
Yes.
Right.
Or texting back too
Miscommunication.
slow.
and that's what
Yeah,
Pastor
we just
Dixon
feel
just
was like,
said.
okay.
Yeah.
Miscommunication. I think miscommunication happens via
That's a
text,
breakdown.
email.
And in person.
Yeah.
But in person to body language.
Right.
Yes.
And
You
in
be talking to
person.
me with your body saying something
Yes.
different. So it
Yes.
gotta line up.
Yeah. and
Like if I'm a-
sometimes the more that you get to know a person, you talk to them, see them in person, you can kind of read texts in the way that they would give it to
Right.
you. And you only get that.
But you have to have that
Exactly,
in
you have to have that
person.
interaction. You have
Right,
to have
right.
that.
Because
It's
Pastor Dixon
necessary.
say some women don't understand a man, and some men don't understand a woman. So you're already starting from a negative.
That's true.
You're already starting from a negative. It's going to be a negative
Some
impact
people
on the
don't really-
conversation.
Listening skills don't be right. They
Man, I'm telling
listen
you.
to respond. They don't listen to actually understand.
Wow.
So they're just like, oh yeah, I got an answer for that.
Yeah.
Everything
Calm
don't
down.
require an answer. You just gotta listen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. We must listen to understand instead of respond. Dunshell say, my credit, finances, and living situation will not be discussed during the interview process.
That's true. I believe in it.
And
You got to get to a certain level of the relationship or, the dating part for that to be, discussed.
right, Pamela said there should be boundaries when dating. There should be.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Dunshell say you should come healed before dating.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah, don't come broke. They've been going in on this chat.
Absolutely. Relationship to even have a chance if you're not healed from your last. You bring it over.
Tisha talk about, you heard me.
You bring it over into the new, so you ain't giving it no, relationship.
Right. Pastor Dick say every breakup isn't a broken situation, so no need to heal. Some are for learning, some are for healing, some are for both, which is very, 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 very important to realize because you can't heal from something you wasn't broken from.
That's right.
But you can learn from something all the time.
Exactly.
Every loss isn't a loss. Some loss is just an experience. That's
right. Yes.
So I think they say even when I lose, I win.
That's right.
So these should say learn yourself first.
Yeah.
That is key because I'm gonna tell you that is so key that she said that because with me I started dating my husband at 15 and through 15 I'm sorry, we started dating like 13, 14. We had our twins at 15.
Right.
So again, remember on the segment we was talking about, I kind of like stopped. I went into mother mode. So I didn't know myself. So I went into mother mode. I didn't know myself no more, survival. So then you get to where you 25 and 30, you start feeling some type of way. You don't feel the same.
Right.
And all these emotions going, and you think you know yourself and you don't. And so now he trying to figure out who I done changed into. Like this wasn't the person that I loved. This wasn't the person that I met, but it's me trying to learn myself as well as being a mother and then being a wife. But I never did really know myself because I didn't have that opportunity. Because at 15, I'm still a baby now. I got baby having babies and now a wife.
So let me ask you
depending
this.
on your circumstances,
And you learning
do have
everybody
to
else before yourself.
for yourself.
So let me ask y'all this: do y'all feel like a lot of people date well above their actual abilities? Let me just say that. Like some people want more out of a relationship than they have to offer, out of a date than they have to offer. Y'all think people do that a lot?
I think people do that a lot. I think people date out of convenience. People definitely date beyond what they can offer. And I'm not just talking about finances. I mean, a lot of people really don't have a certain I don't know how to say this. What am I trying to say? Internal things aligned, and they hand off their brokenness, they hand off their baggage, they're not ready. You're really not ready. And sometimes you're not broken from a relationship. It could be childhood things.
That's right.
It could be a bunch of different things that you have not sometimes identified for yourself yet, and you don't even know it's an ouch yet until the person that you're dating or the friend that you have or whatever hit that spot.
Right.
And you don't know why it's triggering you. It's so many different things. Why it's good to take your time when you're dating, and definitely date yourself.
Absolutely.
So you know what you're comfortable with. What am I comfortable with?
Selfish
Yeah.
with yourself.
Yeah, date yourself and continue to date yourself. When you get in a relationship, still
did
have
that a
those
lot.
time
But
alone to yourself.
How
Equally
often do
yoked.
we do self-evaluations
I do every day.
to see, you know what I'm saying, like what's going on with us? Where am I in
I
life?
think that's something that needs to be done every day. I don't think it needs to be something that's once a month. It needs to be done every day because every day is a different day. You get a new day every day. You start over. So evaluate what happened yesterday so you don't bring it into tomorrow. That's like I tell my kids. When I wake up in the morning, I don't want to see them dishes because them yesterday dishes. Today is a new day.
All right.
When I wake up in the morning, everything needs to be
No.
in its right place. I just feel for me, it's like you are not giving this new day a start.
Hey.
So that's the same way.
Like
with-
kind of clear out the energy. And
let me
besides
go
that,
through
we constantly maintenance everybody else's energy. You definitely need to apply maintenance to yourself daily. Like
yes.
in it, whatever that is for you. If you need your music time, if you need your meditation time, if you need a journal, whatever that gives you exercise, whatever it gives you your that recharges you. You should
Yeah,
be
you
doing
gotta
that
do
daily.
that. You got to do that. So Pamela Simon says, you have to enjoy being with you before you expect someone to enjoy being with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people don't like being with themselves.
But that was when I was talking about, thinking that that person was being lonely when I would see people out because I wasn't at a place in my life where I understood
Right,
just being with
right.
me, spending that
right.
time with me, being by myself. Because when I got there, it was like, oh, this is the best thing, I ever did. I mean, I'm talking about going to the movies,
Right.
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
I mean, in fact, I didn't even want nobody to go. I'm like, okay, where you at? I'm at the movies. I got to call me
See, I
back.
like what Pastor Dixon just said, man. He said today's generation are habitual daters. The key for a man is not to keep chasing those who don't want to be caught. Also, some men like to chase to catch the fish, then want to throw them back into the water. It's a gang to them. And that's so
that's
true.
another thing.
The intention behind it. And I was just thinking about that too. What are you dating for? Some of them
And
just
that's why
want
the
the
interview
panties.
process is important.
Well, somebody texted me a question. It says, how long do we date before there is an express commitment and then marriage?
It depends on
What is the
you're
express commitment?
Okay.
Can you explain it?
Talking-
Because this
when they say
2021.
commitment, are they- yeah, because all right. Because
She where I'm at with it.
if
Hold
I'm
up.
dating somebody and I get down to that one person and I think, okay, this person I want to move forward with, I'm not claiming them as anything. It's been like 3 or 4 months first before I'm like, okay. And the reason why is because everybody has habits and everybody has a thing or a side of them that you may not like. And I feel like that's enough time for somebody to show that. And you can then say, I consent to this energy. I want to be a part of this journey. Don't ignore it, because I ignored it a couple of times. But I'm just saying that you need, for me, and for others like me, you need that period to where you're like, okay, this is great about that person. Because the first time you just like, oh,
But
you
what
just
is
think
it?
everything is good about this person. And then when that shadow pop up,
Hey.
you're like, what is that?
And I think that's a question that's in everybody's mind when they first start dating somebody. It's like, man, I see all this stuff here. It's all good right here. But what is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You know,
then
I
you
think
have
that's a
other people
question
who do
everybody
this
have in the back of their
on
mind.
a
Like,
poking side.
is that good going to outweigh that bad that's coming?
Yeah, but I don't think it's a time frame on that because you got some people that can play the role for a
Long time.
That too.
So you can't say,
Ooh.
oh, within 6 months I can put a timestamp on it or a year because there's some actors out here. I mean, it's some people that just
They play too much.
know how to act.
They play
They
too
act
much.
real good. If
Yeah.
you gave them a year of your time and you just fell in love with it,
Yeah.
as soon as you
Like
But
hold on, what's that show that they used to fight on? What's the show? I can't think of the man name. Jerry Springer. And they used to go on that show, and them dudes used to reveal to them dudes that they was a man. Y'all remember that show? Man, they be on there fighting them gay dudes.
Yeah.
It used to be crazy, but they used to hide that so well. The dude would be in love with them. And I know it's just a show, but this stuff happens in real life. Like all the time, people put on these masks and have you falling in emotional connection with them just to tell you, I'm not who I portrayed I was.
So as a believer, so do you believe that when you were in that relationship, that if you prayed and asked God to reveal to you if this was for you, that He wouldn't have showed you?
What?
I'm just asking.
I'm trying to get what you asking because I don't want to experience no situation like that.
No. I don't mean you. I mean,
I don't know what you're talking about. Please help me with this one because shoot, you throwing me all the way to the left with that question. Dog.
No, I'm saying
Yes.
okay. If you're in a relationship and you're dating somebody for whatever reason that's wrong with them or whatever,
Right.
doesn't have to necessarily be the scenario, that situation. Do you not believe that if you prayed and said, "Hey, okay, well, God, show me if this isn't for me," that He's not going to reveal it to you?
Well, I think He reveals it.
We miss the signs,
Right?
Because we don't want to allow ourselves to stop dating them,
Right.
Getting the benefits.
I was getting
for
ready to
them.
just say, give yourself permission to exit.
You don't give yourself permission to exit.
No, because you start getting concerned about that person's feelings.
Oh no.
What other people may think.
Sure.
How those are just common things you kind of get.
There's some parts of that person that you
That
like,
you
what
like
they
and
do for you.
Yeah.
And if you cut it off, like, dang, that benefit gonna go. I like that benefit though.
So then that turns into an experience or a lesson because we didn't listen, we didn't pay attention to the flags.
God always gives you those warning signs. He gives us the intuition. Your gut feelings really be telling you with certain things. We just missed the mark because we like some about that person that we don't want to give up when we really need to.
Because so then that means we operating in the flesh.
Yes.
So body fix. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Body fix.
that's what
Let's
that
talk
is.
about
Song Mr. Wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Wrong.
Yeah.
That's the best song that explains everything.
Oh,
It
yeah?
feels so good,
Yeah.
but it's wrong.
Yeah.
Talk about the body fix.
Yeah.
What y'all feel about that?
What do you mean?
Pastor Dixon said, "Let's talk about the body fix." Now let's talk about it.
What about it?
I want to know what y'all think about the body fix. I mean, I don't know. I don't. What
Are you talking about body modifications?
I believe that's what I believe that's what we're talking about. Yeah, elaborate on that question for me, Pastor. Because hold on, the chatterbox says the curiosity was dwindled because standards have been lowered and we have started accepting things we shouldn't.
Absolutely.
I am a firm believer that if a woman wouldn't accept it, guys wouldn't do it.
That's right.
I believe
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
But that's the reason. But this is what I'm saying. But you guys also have to stop wanting things that's not that's not.
Essential.
There you go, that. Because let me tell you, all these women are getting their bodies and stuff fixed because that's what y'all gravitate to.
That's what's presented on the market.
Right. So
Like,
it's
there's so
gravitation
many
to it.
different varieties of. You can look this way. You can look this way. So it's like people forget the.
I don't think that's what guys gravitate towards from behind the scenes.
I don't think every guy does that either.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody enough of them. I think women do it because that's what
the
attention.
women choose to idolize.
Ooh, what do the women choose to idolize?
That's true too.
Too
Because
often women like to speak for us.
Yeah, they do like to speak for us.
What we enjoy and what we like in women.
And men.
And man, what? Man, what?
Do it too.
No.
Yes, you do.
Well, that's what he experienced.
But what I'm trying to say is that I agree. Like, I'm understanding both sides. But that's never going to change. And so at what point are you accountable for your own perception and
So let me ask
Putting
y'all
that
this.
forward.
What is the motivation
So how do you
behind
be-
Body Fixed?
my thing is this: how can you be? There's a lot of husbands out here that allow their wives to get their body done, but they saying they're okay with their wife. If I was a man, honestly, this is me, and I'm not a man, and I'm married, and my wife go to their body fix, we're gonna have a whole problem in these streets. Because like I need to know, so what are you doing? Because I love you for who you are. Why you feel like you need to change? If you don't have a health problem. Or is something going on where you just have to have surgery to get that done? I don't think this should be done. There's things that can be worked on other ways because that's something that's major, getting your body cut. When you experiment, when you can turn into somebody else, you can change your body.
Ain't nothing but a trouble starter.
Because a lot of people have self-esteem issues because when you are not happy and satisfied with who God designed you, He made you like that.
Absolutely. It is everybody. Now, I'm not.
Not everybody, but
No, what I'm just saying is everybody right to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
they do.
And that's fine. But for me, like when you have it, because we all not born perfectly, anyway. Like there's some people that was, blessed with a lot of butts. Some was top heavy, some not, And there's always, we all have imperfections, but even when you have an imperfection, you go in to get it, altered, how far do you go? Like, it's just going extreme.
I think that some people, I don't think that everybody that gets, makes changes to their body has a self-esteem issue. I think there's a vast majority of people that do. But I just think that sometimes if you have something you want to change it, like when I was 240 pounds, I wasn't happy at 240 pounds. I went to the gym and worked it out. That wasn't a self-esteem issue. I'm not satisfied with what I see. I'm going to change it.
Yeah.
But you didn't go get a body fix, so to speak. That
but
you working
in a couple
out.
of years, if I have a kid and then things start looking
I'm
low,
curious.
I'm about to go.
But if you went had a total mommy makeover, so to speak, and it's not because you had kids or whatever, you designed that you want to, let's say you want to look like Cardi B or whoever those people are or whatever. Why? What is it within you that you desire to look like somebody else? It's one thing to say. It's one thing,
or is it to see yourself better?
Well, I think it just depends on
I think it depends on the person.
The vast majority of people.
So would you
That's
say
where
it's
people
more
are
to be seen?
heavily influenced and want to look like everybody else. That is a vast majority of people. But there are other people who are just like, I just want a little more of this or that.
And that's fine right there. And especially when there are some people that really do work out really hard and they still can't get their weight down because of whatever.
And there's some people that get their body done, they still look.
And some people just say, I'm not going to go to the gym. But if you're doing it for self, then I can accept it. And it's for you.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's make a whole segment on body fixing.
Yeah.
Body fixing.
What are they?
Let's get back to the dating stuff because I know the body fixing gonna take us all the way out subject. But I want to ask a question. Is marriage worth it?
I think so.
Absolutely.
Absolutely it is when you're married to the right person. When you're married to the right person. It's you being honest with yourself and allowing yourself to get to that place of knowing you enough to know who that person is for your soulmate. You know what I'm saying? And I believe as a woman, we give up so much. I know for me, you give up so much of you because God built us to be nurturers. We are constantly building men a lot.
So are you giving up you or are you giving you?
You do. You give so much of you up. You forget about you. Because the first instead of a woman, I know. You want to make sure they're okay. You're catering to them.
Okay. She had to drink some water. They is
right. We have to know how to balance, get to the place of balance where you get all of you.
So let me say this real quick. So is that something that you're doing and you're not really just knowing that you're doing it?
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you have so much love for a person to where it becomes just you.
Now, is that whose fault is that?
That'd be yours. I think it'd be yours.
We're not losing accountability, but we're just saying that I was married and divorced. We were together for 5 years. We married for 1 year, and I was like, no. And when you get that entire relationship, I think a lot of people, and for me, I got caught in, okay, we've been together 5 years. Like, you're not getting 5 more years out of me. We get married, or you can get out my face. Yeah, it was like, I need to get married, or you need to move around like you're going to do what we need to do. And I was like, I've been spending all this time. That was like 5 years of my 20s. Like, are we going to move forward or not? And I feel that even though there was a lack of emotional supply, like having support, there was a lack of spiritual support. There was a lack of a lot of things, but because there was so much time spent, I didn't want to lose my investment. Does it make sense? It was an investment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Does your expectation of what a marriage should be cause you to base your dating and your relationship off of that? Like, you expect this to be your marriage. So you're gauging your relationship off of that. Like, are you what I expect my marriage to be?
I think people go into it that way, but I think once you're in it, it can become very different because it's work. It's not. It's not.
I mean, is that setting yourself up for a downfall though? Like, is that setting yourself up for failure?
Well, I don't think it's setting yourself up for necessarily for failure if
you make it.
If you are willing to put in the work, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're both believers, if you're going to make sure that okay, there's not going to be a marriage that's going to last without Christ in it. So are you willing to, is Christ leading him? So you're going to let him lead you? Or are you as a woman in a relationship, are you trying to be the man? Are you trying to do the things that he should do in the relationship, in the marriage? Mm-hmm. All those things are going to play factors on what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Pamela said you should not lose yourself when you get married.
No, you shouldn't lose yourself. You should not lose yourself.
Married or even in a relationship,
no.
You should not lose yourself.
And I think that each, in marriage, one of the things that have to be understood is that each person still needs their own time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm so glad about that. Yes.
You can't expect your husband to make you happy. It's your responsibility to create your own happiness.
Absolutely.
Everything else is an
And
addition.
you share it.
Yes.
Share the happiness.
Yes, but it is your responsibility to make you happy. And each person needs to have their own responsibility of that. And
Amen.
each person has to understand that you need your own quality time.
Right.
And stop dictating what someone do. You grown and I'm grown.
Right.
For me, when you leave out this house, if you love me like you say you love me, you're not going to go into this world and do anything that's going to mess up this household and our marriage. So I don't need to call you 50 million times because
we may have to extend this show.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
we definitely.
I think
may.
that, and not just do that is not just out of love, but out of respect.
Yes.
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 Because if you respect yourself, because I got to respect myself first before I can think that somebody else is going to.
absolutely.
Then I'm not going to just do anything to jeopardize or put our relationship in jeopardy.
Right.
Pastor Dixon says it's not marriage, it's who you marry.
Right.
He says our generation don't want to commit. They don't want papers. We don't join churches, gyms, etc. Think about everything that takes you joining is up and down. Everything that takes you joining, everything that takes a commitment in this day and time is up and down. Absolutely. And we have commitment issues. We do. We like Drake. Everybody running around playing Drake. Trust issues. We got trust issues. We got commitment issues. And nobody wants to be the one on the bad side of the stick. Yeah. And I get that. But
And I think it comes from everyone not knowing their role in a position. When you're a mother, you have a position in the role. When you're a wife, and when you're a husband, when you're a man, and when you're a woman, you have a role. And the Bible tells you what your role is. As a man, the Bible says you're supposed to lead. As women, for me, sometimes we miss the mark because we date somebody that we know they ain't got leadership qualities. But we want to be with them. But then you want to make him into a husband thinking you can change him.
Right.
You can change somebody that don't want to be changed.
Right.
You can change the wrong person. At that point, you're going to do what you want to do. But we miss the mark as women sometimes, not even looking at that little bitty thing that's so big.
Wow.
When you want to take on a relationship that when you're intentionally dating a guy, they should have that quality. They should pose that quality, and we don't even look at it. Like, is he a leader?
He fun though. He fun though. He's Machiavelli.
He smell good. And he got these qualities.
Well, y'all heard what I
He
said.
even know how to pay a bill.
Does he understand what leadership
He can
is?
make your legs shake.
People don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't care if y'all not listening to me. He can make your legs shake. See, y'all not. I'm being real.
But that's not going to do any good if we don't. Because if we can't do that, then what do we have?
But this is the generation that we're living in.
And that's what he's saying. He's saying a lot of people cling to that.
They feel like they base their marriage off of how good the sex is.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, so if he gets hurt in some type of capacity and he can't perform, then what do you have?
So divorce paper.
There you go.
That's today's generation. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard.
People don't.
Marriage is a covenant. Miss Pamela say marriage is a covenant.
Absolutely.
If you are not a whole person when you are single, you are not ready to get married.
That's right. That's
And
right.
that's true. Somebody laughing. Say, but it's real. Listen, we are going to have to extend this show because we are already past time. Lord have mercy. We're going to have to extend it. I know, right? It's like it go by so fast. There's so many comments that we didn't even get a chance to go through, man. I'm so sorry, man, if y'all commented, man, and we didn't get a chance to get to it, man. It was just such a hot topic tonight, man. Everybody had such a passion about it, man. I'm surprised people out up here sweating. Because, man, they were going in tonight, man. Listen, I'm so glad y'all tuned in here at the Chatterbox, man. We love y'all, man. We love y'all input. We love y'all conversation, man. Y'all continue to do that.
Yeah.
Y'all bless me every time. Canella, thank you so much for being on here. Miss Rice, thank you for coming. I really want y'all to just come regularly if y'all can, man. But we gonna continue. We gonna have to get some more mics. We gonna have to upgrade. We finna have to invest.
Don't make me mad because I'm mic'd up a different way than y'all.
Nah, man, that's not. It's not that. I promise. I just wanted to all look, unison. I don't want, I don't want it to look like, man. We be improv, man. Y'all know we straight out of Dallas with it. Everybody in here out of Dallas. But we gonna get better with it. But as we grow, we want y'all to grow with us. So we'll start giving y'all the cash out, man. Y'all can start donating or just giving us a little bit to try to help us grow, man. We definitely want to support Hearing Eyes here at the Hearing Eyes studio. Mr. Dr. Calvin Hill, man, who's the doctor of all this stuff, man. He puts this stuff together. Listen, do y'all have any last remarks before we close out? We'll start at the end of the table over there.
I would just remember to know who you are. So when you're dating, make sure that you have learned yourself, spend some time with you. Because if you don't love you and if you can't spend time with you, you can't expect somebody else to.
Absolutely.
That's true. That's true.
Say the same, agree with her. How you date determines how you heal. And if you heal correctly, then you'll be prone to date right. And marriage, I would say, would be a go for me if you are led by the Spirit, or if you, it depends on who you marry.
Right. Thank you, Pamela.
I guess for me, for the single ones out there, I would just say, enjoy yourself first.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself, because until you get to that moment to where you know what your happiness is, you can't expect to know what somebody is to do to make you happy. You don't know how somebody can make you happy if you don't know how to make yourself happy.
Right.
And for marriage, I just say, keep working.
Keep working.
Because when you stop working, the marriage is over.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
keep working.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, you gonna say?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go and take it.
Oh, you gonna?
I'm gonna let you go and take it.
Okay. As far as dating for the single people, relax, and don't allow somebody to be comfortable with what you're uncomfortable with. So, in other words, tend to your boundaries. And if you're not comfortable, it's okay. Rejection, everybody faces it. So don't be too concerned about somebody else's feelings, how they might feel should you reject them. That's very important, especially if you're like me. As far as marriage is great, but definitely be sure that you're prepared for that, and make sure that you're making the necessary steps. Don't do it because you feel like you're running out of time. Don't marry somebody out of lack, and marry somebody that's willing to do the work, because it is a constant thing. You don't want a lazy partner.
That's good. That's good. Man, y'all said some profound stuff, man. I really love it. For me, I would say when you're dating, be honest with your intentions. Be honest with yourself about your intentions. If you're just out there playing around, be honest about that. If you're out there actually looking for somebody that you are seeking to spend your life with, be honest about that. That will help you gauge how you date. Because if you go in it with the false intentions, if you trick yourself, you go hurt yourself.
Yes.
When it comes to dating.
Yes. That was perfect. Say it one time.
Well, I just be listening to what y'all be saying to me, because y'all just said all this stuff, and that's what I come up with, man. I'm like, man, you got to be honest about your intentions, man.
Yes,
Seriously.
Very honest.
And I'm a real one. I'm not gonna sit up in the high side with nobody.
With yourself and them.
Right. And I think that'll be more appreciated at the long run, because you won't waste nobody's time and you won't waste yours.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And when you're married, if you intend to get married, if you're married, it is worth it. It's worth it, but it's work. And don't assume that marriage is about happiness, because that's not the intention for marriage. Marriage is about a helpmeet in getting to a purpose that you're trying to attain. It's something that you're going to have to go out and work on every day. The Bible says, dwell with each other according to understanding. In other words, you're going to have to understand where that person comes from, that person's perspective on things, how that person sees love, how that person sees respect. You're going to have to understand that person, because if you constantly put your expectations on them, It's not gonna be a marriage. It's gonna end up being a boxing match. Yep. And I'm telling you, anytime you're in a companionship and you're competing, that's not a companionship.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's a boxing match. Yep. And so, listen, we love y'all, man. We here at the Chatterbox, man. Listen, it's your boy Shelvin,
Lady K,
True 102.
Lady Prezi.
And Cornella.
Listen, we love y'all, man. I'm glad y'all stopped by. Yeah, we go see y'all. Oh, are we doing next Monday? It's Labor Day.
Oh, yeah.
It's up to y'all.
Labor Day.
Oh, look, we go decide that through the week. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be something that we go decide through the week. Please be looking for the post, man. Look, we enjoyed y'all, man. We glad y'all stopped by. We going to let y'all know, man. Thank y'all. This the Chatterbox where we chatted up, man. Make sure that the next time we on here, y'all come chat with us. Love y'all. Peace.